How will you be different in any way from President George W. Bush?
I think we should remind ourselves, because I remember it every day, that on September 11, 2001, we thought we were going to be attacked many, many times between then and now. We haven't been. I believe we had a president who made the right decision at the right time on September 20th, 2001 to put us on offense against terrorists.
Dr. Paul.
I certainly would continue on my earlier theme that foreign policy needs to be changed. I would work very hard to protect the privacy of American citizens, being very, very cautious about warrantless searches, and I would guarantee that I would never abuse habeas corpus.
It's very scary because many countries in the world, including us, are giving up most of their civil liberties so they can be more secure.
The need for this legislation is urgent. We need to ensure that those questioning terrorists can continue to do everything within the limits of the law to get information that can save American lives.
Still, getting the Military Commissions Act to the president so he could immediately mull it over for 2 weeks was so important, some members of Congress did not even read the bill before voting on it. Thus has some of its minutiae escaped scrutiny. One bit of trivia that caught our eye was the elimination of habeas corpus, which apparently used to be the right of anyone who's tossed in prison to appear in court and say, hey, why am I in prison?
When you're stripped of habeas corpus, you're basically being stripped of all rights. You know, Benjamin Franklin once said that those who would trade their civil liberties for security deserve neither. We really risk the threat of losing many of these vital freedoms, and I think every one of us have to stand up and fight this issue, you know, every time it surfaces.
Here it is, the $1 million offer if you have had an adulterous affair, sexual encounter with a current member of the United States Congress or a high-ranking government official. First question, Mr. Flynt, why, Larry, why?
My whole objective from this in the beginning, from running the ad in the Washington Post, was an attempt to expose the hypocrisy in Washington, in that if these people on the Hill are going to sit in judgment on the president, they shouldn't have any skeletons in their own closet. This is where I really see the erosion of our government. These individual politicians mean nothing. It's what they've done to screw it up really good.
But I cannot do that job or be the kind of leader that I would like to be under current circumstances. So I must set the example that I hope President Clinton will follow. I will not stand for Speaker of the House on January 6th.
Casualty number one, Republican Congressman Bob Livingston. The House Speaker designate resigned when Flynt threatened to go public with details of several extramarital affairs.
When I exposed Livingston, he was Speaker-elect of the House, the third in line for the president, you know. That was a big fish, and he was doing everything they were trying to impeach Clinton for, and more. He made Clinton look like Mary Poppins.
I have hurt you all deeply, and I beg your forgiveness.
It's really almost beyond incredible that we've reached the point where a porno publisher is driving American politics.
I said I was attempting to expose the hypocrisy in Washington. And that's what Bob Livingston was, is a hypocrite. Now the new one we have is Congressman Bob Barr.
We are witnessing nothing less than the symptoms of a cancer on the American presidency. If we fail to remove it, it will expand to destroy the principles that matter most to all of us.
Flynt says Barr refused to answer questions about an alleged affair during divorce proceedings and paid for an abortion for his second wife.
We have established that he did not tell the truth under oath, and we have depositions to back this up. My attorneys were scared to death when we were putting this piece together. You better be right, you know. You better be right, you know. And Just imagine on Livingston if I would have been wrong. You know, whatever was left to me would have been in the mud, okay? But I knew when I started working on that story that I would be scrutinized by the mainstream press and that I had to get it right. The day that Mr. Livingston resigned, and he did an interview with the New York Times, and they asked him what he thought about me, and he said I was a bottom feeder. So they called me for a comment, and I said, yeah, that's right, but look what I found when I got down there.